The next major update to Conan Exiles is coming soon, and of course along with that will come new bundles and additions to the Black Lotus Bazaar. The Bazaar is not available on the beta client, but we do know some of the new additions we can expect in the Age of War Chapter 3. So let's take a look at what's coming to the Bazaar in the next update. Firstly, let's tackle the big ones, and those are the building sets. We'll get 2 building sets with this update, the first of which is an extension to the Aesir building set from the Age of War Chapter 1. The original Aesir set, as much as I do like it, is admittedly quite inflexible. This extension will build the set out further and make it much more appropriate for villages, houses and other smaller builds like that. It stays true to the Aesir style, offering a Nordic approach to building that I think feels quite similar to the Northern Timber mod. This is an aesthetic that honestly hasn't been explored too much in game until now, and I think it is going to be another favourite set amongst builders. The second building set is an extension to the dungeon set, again from Age of War Chapter 1. The dungeon pieces were unique and a bit more flexible than they initially seemed, but still fairly limited in scope. This extension is going to make the set a bit more flexible, adding in crypt walls, more dungeon themed prison pieces, and Conan's first non-modded spiral staircase. I am very excited for this, but I do think the dungeon set is a bit of a love it or hate it set, and I don't think this extension will change opinions all that much. That said, I could entirely be wrong, and the dungeon extension could really improve the dungeon set overall and make it a more viable and enjoyable building choice. I've already got a few builds in mind for this extension, and at least for me it should make what is otherwise an inflexible but very attractive set much more appealing to use. Away from the building sets, there are a few other bundles we know of. The first is Nemedian Archer, which looks to be a bundle containing placeables, armour and weapon skins. You can see a little preview of it in centre frame now, and the giant bell on the left hand side of the frame is also apparently included in this set. They've added a few Nemedian things over the course of the last chapter, and they've all fit the more medieval, almost Germanic aesthetic very well. I think this bundle will do the same. I can already see the leather tunic style armour being a favourite for role players. As much as I do like a lot of the armour in the game, some of it is a little over the top when you just want a really subdued and almost traditional aesthetic, and I think the Nemedian Archer bundle is going to fit that specification very well. The second bundle was only mentioned briefly, and that was the Yamatai Tavern set. We didn't get to see anything of it, but Andy mentioned that it will come with tatami mats and floor tables for the proper traditional Japanese aesthetic. Yamatai in general is a very nice building set, and it has been horribly underserved by the lack of proper Yamatai placeables, and assuming this bundle does also come with a tavern counter too, I think it will be wonderful for more traditional Japanese taverns. Another bundle mentioned was the Stygian medicine tent set. This comes with an armour that appears as a set of used and bloodied bandages, and I've also found a doctor's outfit in the admin panel too. There wasn't too much information on this, but it'll likely be a pretty niche set, and again, probably a favourite for role players. I can think of quite a few times that I would have needed to use bloodied bandages, so having this will be fairly good for content creation, and again for the role players will be invaluable. On the miscellaneous side of things, Dennis and Andy mentioned there will be a lot of things for the clan emblem system this update, including new icons for making emblems and placeables that can carry those symbols. There did seem to be a few of these in the Battle Pass, though I've not yet covered the Battle Pass as it is obviously still a work in progress. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see another emblem bundle show up on the Bazaar, and maybe some themed placeables included in other bundles that can show clan emblems on them. Additionally, there are teasers of 2 other armour sets. The first was shown in a small video segment that didn't seem to be from the Battle Pass, though there was no word on where the set might come from. The second comes from this screenshot, and we're looking at the guy stood on the customer side of the bar. The more I look at it, this could be Nemedian Archer. I'm not entirely sure. The helmet and the sleeves do look quite similar, but this armour does also come with a pretty nice and very intricate cape design. If this is Nemedian Archer, that will make the set overall a lot nicer to use, and if it's a different set, well, we'll have to keep an eye out for it. And that about wraps up the Bazaar preview. I do imagine there will be more in the Bazaar than was shown on the stream, but most of the time was of course dedicated to the big new features, the tavern system and the PvE raid, both of which I've already covered. I'm guessing we'll probably end up getting some more armour sets, placeables, etc, but the main features, which are of course the building sets, do look quite promising. People did say and feel that the Aesir and dungeon sets were missing something, and to a degree I do also agree. So I think these extensions should fill that demand and make the sets more appealing overall. However, that being said, I do hope the original and extension sets are immediately bundled and sold together as a pair, both to avoid splitting up the sets as happened with the Sandstone Timber bundle in the Age of Sorcery Chapter 1, and of course to cut down on the bloat of items rotating through the bazaar. Thank you for watching, and of course a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. I'm very excited to get my hands on the building sets especially. I'm looking forward to really trying to make something good with the dungeon set, as I think that extension is going to be a bit of a sleeper hit for some. Again, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.